morning, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paolo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez. In tonight's game plan.
We got a lot here to talk about: the FIFA Women's World Cup and the PBA on tour.
Yes, and some PVL visitor news.
Absolutely, can't wait to see that. So buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Now, despite falling to Switzerland in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, the Filipinas had a great showing in their debut match. Now, joining us to break down the performance of the Filipinas is football analyst Mariel Benitez Javellana. Mariel, you're not in Dunedin? I'm surprised.
No, unfortunately, I'm not there, but I'm probably there in spirit.
Yes.
When I saw their game today, and you can't help but just feel so much pride and be so proud of the girls and how they played against Switzerland.
Yeah, ibang klase talaga, Mariel. 2-0 in favor of Switzerland, and a lot of people were saying that they're worried about the Philippines because number 46 tayo, Switzerland number 20. What do you make of that gap and what we showed on the field with them?
To be honest, hindi halata na ganun kalayo yung distance natin sa rankings with Switzerland. I think we gave them a very good 20 minutes. Had that goal from Gilliuk entered and was counted, I think that really could have changed the game. But you could see the experience of Switzerland as we moved on in the latter part of the first half. But I think throughout, we had some pockets where you can see that we could actually control the ball in our defensive third, even have some possession and build up. So it was just a little bit tough getting those opportunities up front. Pero kita naman natin, Paolo, in the coverage kanina na hindi mo makikita na ganun kalayo yung ranking natin from Switzerland.
Mariel, we've said this many times. This is not about outcomes and results. This is about the experience. This is the first time we're there, and we're happy to watch the Philippines in a World Cup setting. Having said that, were there any kind of, in your eyes, and Pao, you can please chime in on this, any kind of nerves at the start, do you think, in this stage for the girls?
Well, definitely. I think from the kickoff, you can see some of the nerves, but that's always in whatever level, Boom. When you know that the players know that it's a big game, as long as you're able to overcome that in the first 5 minutes of the match, then you are in the game. And we saw that the girls could play. We could get chances moving forward. Switzerland also, in the start, I think, had a very slow start.
Yeah.
They were waiting, and that actually gave us opportunities to attack. So it was until maybe we had some tired legs and Switzerland found their momentum, that they actually had more possession and opportunities from the flanks that really challenged our defense. But throughout the match, you can really say how organized, how patient our defense was up against a team like Switzerland.
All right, Pao, I want you to chime in on the shots on goal.
Yeah.
When you look at the number, just if let's say you did not watch the match and you look at the number, it's kind of overwhelming to see. 10-2, I think, is the number. You did the game, Pao. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, looking at this game in particular, if you're a fan of football, if you watch how the run of play works, and you even look at the rosters, talagang we are the underdogs, and that type of stat was always going to be on the card. Pero to be able to churn out a 2-0 loss instead of what some people were predicting,
like 6-0, 5-0.
I mean, some people were afraid that yung nangyari sa Thailand that against Team USA would repeat itself, wherein natalo yung Thailand 13-0.
Wow.
But here, the Philippines stood up against one of the more established European nations and came up with a 2-0 result. And they're not happy. They're not just happy to get that type of result. They want to do better. Now, on that note, Mariel, looking at silver linings and looking at what things to build on, what do you think are those things, especially going into a matchup against New Zealand, wherein we have to win if we want a chance to qualify for the next round?
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from this match are those positive moments on the pitch. When we had our substitutions, we had more opportunities moving forward. And if you notice, even Switzerland, when we had good possession, they actually sat back on defense. And this proves that the Philippines can actually keep possession and create those chances on top. So moving forward against New Zealand, I think we have to build from this. We had a very organized and solid defense, and it's just being able to try to find those through passes to get those opportunities on the attacking third. And of course, going up against a host team will be a challenge.
Yeah.
They started out very strong in the opening game, but I think the confidence that the girls can get from this match will definitely help us play that second game.
Who stood out for you? Let's talk about some individual players for the Filipinas, Marielle.
I think for me, Angie Beard played very, very well. She was all
All right, so Marielle's connection did lag a bit, but then
So maybe I can ask you about
Yeah, she was
since
talking
you
about
did the
Angie
game.
Beard.
Yeah.
Angie Beard was the debutant for the Filipinas, former Australian national team player. In FIFA, the rule is if you had 3 appearances, that's the maximum before you can transfer. And you can tell that itong si Angie Beard, ibang klase talaga. And what Marielle was going to say is that apart from the fact that she was a solid defender, she was also very good moving forward, able to be deliberate in her deliveries. And Marielle, I think I answered that Angie Beard question or Angie Beard statement. So I want
Tell
to
us
throw
more.
it back
Give
to
us
you.
more. Yeah, give us more.
Give us more and give us another one who stood out.
Okay, well, definitely Olivia McDaniel stood really well. She had great saves,
Yeah.
crucial saves inside the box. And one thing good with Olivia is that when she's able to get the ball, she knows when to release the ball quick and when to hold it and get her teammates in possession. And I think that's one crucial, that's one thing you need from a keeper who can really dictate. Hindi na pe-pressure kapag sunod-sunod yung shots ng kalaban and nako-control din niya. So, hindi halata na na-rattle siya in this match. And so, that's someone you would need in between our goals.
She was so busy today, wasn't she,
Yeah, she
Pao?
was. She was busy. And not only that, I felt that they say that you have to be crazy to be a keeper. And she definitely has that brand of crazy to be able to withstand that pressure. Marielle, before we let you go, your key takeaways for how this impacts Philippine football in general. We've now made an appearance in the World Cup and we're hungry for an even better result, or rather a better result in general going into the next matchup.
I mean, I think it has, their participation has inspired the Philippines to see the Philippines in the Women's World Cup at the highest level. And I hope that it actually gets us hungrier to see this kind of quality from our players. We know that we're capable. We saw the girls play it. And it's just for us to keep rooting and cheering them on. And hopefully that trickles down to everyone else here in the Philippines learning to love the sport of football.
Yeah, Marielle, I have no negative feelings throughout that match, even in the goals of Switzerland. To me, it was all joy. It was all positivity because we're watching the Philippines in the World Cup. I mean, just listen to that statement. So to me, it's all good. And Marielle, we'll have you again to break down maybe the New Zealand match next time. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
As always. In the meantime, after the break, we shift to hoops as we list down the top standouts in the ongoing PBA On Tour. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're watching The Game. The PBA on Tour continues to be a path for players to show their full potential. And joining us to talk about top standouts of the ongoing tour is PBA Rush anchor Mikey Reyes. Mikey, first of all, before you get to the actual list, we have to ask you how you came up with the list. Ano yung mga criteria mo for the list?
Being someone that reached my full potential.
In terms of,
that's the question. Hindi, pero we obviously covered the PBA on tour, and what I was really excited about was I knew for a fact the vets wouldn't play.
Correct.
Maybe kasi nasa gila sila or they're resting, or at the very least minimal minutes for them, because you want them to give them as much as they need. So I knew coming in that the rookies, the sophomores, or even those who are entering the draft, I actually like that small rule that the ones entering can join already at PBA on tour. So I just wanted to talk about the guys that I feel like because of the PBA on tour, they'll have the confidence entering the season, the much needed tune-up games during the offseason.
I love one of your first picks here from the NLEX Road Warriors, si Dominic Fajardo. Kasi grabe rin yung kwento niya. NLEX employee who work in the security department. I'm not sure kung guardia siya, but security department.
Parang head.
Head of security, right?
Wow.
So you take a look at all of that, and right now, living his dream as a PBA player and shining dito sa
Actually
on tour.
got to play against Dominic Fajardo in a commercial league when he was in college pa sa Bulacan State University siya. So he was already a good player. He actually won MVP in one of the minor leagues or in one of the college leagues. But entering NLEX, I was somewhat present when he was playing for commercial leagues.
Yeah.
And I got to see him, and inaalagaan na talaga siya ni Boss Ronald Dulatre. And then he actually worked and he played for the MVP Olympics.
Yeah.
Doon nag-start yon. He actually was absorbed by the company so he could play there. Tapos slowly nung nagka-PBA 3x3, doon na parang, kulang tayo ng player.
So yun ang entry point niya.
Ang entry point niya was PBA 3x3. From the MVP Olympics to the PBA 3x3. And then now, PBA on tour because some of the players were injured during the start. Then he got to play. He actually won Player of the Game honors multiple times, I believe. Scored 20 points in one of those games. Can you imagine? From, di ba, MVP Olympics, parang intrams to...
And he started pa, di ba? And you know, this is why sports is all about opportunity. Talaga, when it knocks. All right, let's go to Northport. You mentioned and you picked JM Calma as part of your list.
Well, from the past season, big man talaga ang kulang ng Northport.
Yeah.
We're always talking about they lacked a big man, someone who was solid enough to at least so Arwin can play 4. But JM Calma is not also as tall as the other 5s, but he can definitely stretch the floor. I covered him when he was in the NCAA, JM Calma. He actually has a better shot now, but then again, yun nga, because of more reps, he's starting to get the feel of things. And I think first rounder to see JM Calma. So this is a big opportunity for him to show out.
Started in 7 of the 10 games played so far itong si JM
Double-double
Calma. 21 points against Phoenix last time around. JD Tungkab for TNT. And it's a very stacked TNT team in general. So opportunities like this, JD has to grab it. And you felt that he did.
Yeah, he did. And even the times that he was put in the game during the season, yung mga either tambak na, patapos na, either sila yung talo, sila yung panalo, he would come in. I remember there was a stretch that he scored like 6 straight, tapos may dunk pa siya. That was during the season. But like what you said, their guard rotation is too stacked. You talk about Mikey Williams, Jason Castro, Arpogoy. So it's really tough. So entering this, we kind of knew na baka si Jason hindi maglaro. Mikey is still in the States. Arpogoy is with Gilas. So doon talaga yung minuto papasok si JD Tungkab. And I believe that this was his chance to show out. Coach Jojo Lastimosa, medyo nakuha na rin yung feel ni JD. So I'm sure entering the season, he could be someone they could rely on maybe. Even in minutes na medyo papahinga si Jason, papahinga si Mikey. And you know, also, inakyat pa nga yung 3x3 players nila kasi nga kulang na kulang sila dun sa position. And I think also Kip got injured during the PBA on tour, so mas lalong nagka-minutes si JD.
All right, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and over 3 assists, 2 steals a game.
And we forget that he was part of the Gilas program.
Yeah, he was.
He's a solid guard.
Speaking of, Javi GDL, you also mentioned this one from Terra Firma.
There was a 3-game stretch that he scored in his, I think, 15 plus, 18 plus. And he actually top scored, I think, at 21. Javi, we had high hopes for Javi during his rookie season.
Right.
I know na medyo natamaan siya when he was traded kasi, di ba, kumbaga Hinebra na siya, and then he got traded to Terra Firma.
Right.
And there was this sense of adjustment para kay Javi. I believe he was tasked to do a little bit more because he was with Terra Firma.
Yeah.
Unlike if he was with Hinebra, medyo magiging spot-up shooter ka talaga, di ba? So with Javi, I think it's really just about his confidence. When he started to get his confidence due to sa PBA on tour, there were 3 conferences that we were waiting for him to really be consistent. Kasi meron siya biglang good game siya, so everybody's like, oh, ito na si Javi, and then he wouldn't be as consistent as we wanted him to be. But here in sa PBA on tour, Coach John has been giving him the minutes, and also parang nakokompleto na sila because of Isaac Go coming back from injury.
Right.
Then you got Wami there who just signed, so this is basically already the roster that you could expect from them.
Yeah, I want to issue a public apology na wala si Isaac Go sa listahan ni Mikey.
Kaya kailangan banggitin.
Oo, kaya banggitin.
Kaya
Oo.
nabanggit kasi Isaac.
Of
Nag-breakout na si Isaac, hindi na niya kailangan yan.
That's true. That's true. And it's just great to see him healthy. Now, another guy here who has started to shine, no pun intended, para sa rain or shine, itong si Sean Ildefonso.
Papi!
Papi.
And, Papi
Kulong,
just found a way to play.
Oh my gosh, man. I can't, his grit, and he never stopped. I being someone na medyo close tayo sa mga to, I have had conversations with Sean na medyo natatamaan na yung confidence niya coming in. There was so much expectations. Obviously, your dad, your brother. So people were kind of counting him out that he just got in because of his last name. And then medyo nahirapan din siya to crack the rotation because he's a big man, let's face it. He's a big man trying to play the wing. But he really worked on his outside game, and there's nothing else to say about Sean. Ito yung mga parang score na the way he's getting his points now, you never saw it in the UAP. Parang from the outside, dumadrive siya, he has a handle now.
Gumagwardya siya dito.
Gumagwardya na talaga siya. Actually, point guard pa siya ni
Point
Coach
guard
Yeng.
pa.
Can you imagine po point guard? May Ildefonsong point guard, di ba? So, you also have to commend Sean and the confidence that Coach Yeng gives him.
Yeah, can I just say though, the whole last name, it's true. It doesn't matter. Kasi, Del Rosario, di naman ng PBA. Ganun naman talaga.
I just want to add, before we go to our honorable mentions, I just want to add, James Lapot and Diego Dario, I wanted to put them there pero napag-usapan na daw sila. Baka lang sabihin nila, sino ang ganda nilalaro namin ah.
They had their own body on the
they had
show.
their own
Oh,
body.
Mikey, okay
so,
tayo doon. Okay tayo
since
doon.
nabanggit mo na rin, our boy Diego Dario, 9 points, 2 3-point makes, and 3 assists per game.
I covered his career high.
Moralco,
Covered his career high.
James
21
Lapot,
points.
almost
Was it-
13 points a
Was
game.
it hard to reach his career high?
21 points? I'm not gonna lie, man. Those threes, wow.
And then, of course, James Laput, who you had
Yes,
here on the
yes.
show, 13 and 10 on the average, first and undefeated ang Magnolia. All right, honorable mentions, nabanggit mo na. Mike Nieto is
Mike
right
Nieto,
there.
I mean, we already saw what he did, what he can do when he was with Rain or Shine.
Yeah.
But this trade to Converge, kitang-kita din. Because I feel like he's more at home here because para silang mga
Why?
magkaka-age. Para sila magkaka-age
okay.
na parang, I'm sure in practice, I mean, he was close to like the Bo Belgas and all that. Pero dito, parang nanonood ng UAAP NCAA isang team eh. So, I feel like this running game suits him more. And, with Coach Allen giving him the opportunities, he just signed a long-term contract with Converge. So, alam mo na medyo he's part of that future. So, he's been playing well.
Fran Yu, not yet drafted, if I'm not
Not yet
mistaken.
drafted.
How high is his stock getting right now with what he's doing?
Well, Northport is saying that if they reach him, I think their second pick, they would pick Fran. I don't know if aabot sa second round si Fran, but for me, if you're trying to make the league, it's the PBA on tour, it's best. Or either that or the 3x3. Because at the end of the day, you need to be exposed.
Correct. The teams need
Diba?
to see you.
Right now, they need
Mikey
to see
needs
you.
to see you. So
Yeah,
we
we
can
need
talk
to see you
about
guys. Para ma-pick natin si Fran Yu, and he's been consistent with Northport. Plus, at the end of the day, college coach niya yung coach niya ngayon eh. So for sure,
Yes,
magagamit siya ng maayos and
That is
they
true.
know how to use him.
That is true.
Okay, you pick somebody from Ginebra. Let's not...
Si David.
let's
David.
not-
Si Jason.
Si Jason.
Jason
David. Again, you look at the powerhouse teams, you know someone's gonna blossom.
Yeah.
You know someone's gonna break out because the regular players aren't playing. So Jason David is one of them for Ginebra.
Itong si Jason David, again, former 3x3 player na draft ng Barangay Ginebra and coming in and doing a good job there for Barangay Ginebra dito sa PBA on tour. And let's see how far he can go if that will mean more minutes. Last question here, Mikey, kasi grabe talaga.
Parang ano to,
So many stars here. Oh, we have you here. Podcast to, hindi mo lang alam.
Against the
Sinusulit ka lang namin.
Oo.
wall. May bayad yung kwentuhan natin.
Apparently. Pero,
Ganyan na pag Mikey Reyes ang usapan.
pero sa mga names na na-mention natin dito, who do you feel has a chance to actually earn more minutes pagdating ng susunod na conference?
I'm going with Sean. I'm going with Sean. I
Nice.
think he'll get consistent minutes this time because, Coach Sheng nakikita na yung nagagawa niya, especially at that point guard, shooting guard spot.
Yeah.
And he's having, a great, yung level up niya sa outside shooting niya. I think
Na
Sean.
lagi siya niloloko ni Sisi.
Nawala siyang
Pagdating,
shooting,
yeah,
di ba?
true.
Kaya nakakabawi siya.
True. All right, Mikey, maraming salamat. Really appreciate you coming. Sulit talaga. I mean, like,
Bayaran niyo yan, ha?
alam mo, nag-noontime game show host
Pinoy Hen yun eh.
contest ka rin na si EAT.
Mahirap i-schedule yan. Kaya,
Nakachamba lang kami. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So you can watch the PBA on tour live on PBA Rush, also available on Signal TV, Channel 260, Channel 90 and SD, and the Filipinas Live app. So, after the break, we'll hear from the foreign athletes who will be making their debut in the PVL Invitational Conference. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're watching The Game. Two foreign teams are set to make their debut in the PVL Invitational Conference tomorrow. Now let's find out more about the athletes from Japan's Kurashiki Ablaze and Vietnam's Kin Bakbakni.
チーム一丸となって戦って1点取ったら喜んでみんなで楽しくバレーボールをしているところをぜひ見ていただきたいです。国内でのリーグはもちろんなんですけど、このフィリピンリーグに参加させていただくっていう機会を無駄にしないように精一杯頑張ります。
コートのどこからでも攻撃ができるところです。Mahal ko kayo, Philippines, salamat.
Chúng tôi tập luyện với nhau rất là lâu nên là có sự gắn kết và bền chặt với nhau.
Tôi cảm thấy Philippines là một đất nước rất xinh đẹp, con người rất là nồng hậu và nhiệt tình. Và đặc biệt thì con người Philippines có một niềm đam mê và nồng cháy với bóng chuyền. Chúng tôi cảm thấy điều đấy khi mà mỗi giải đấu đến thì mọi người đều cổ vũ rất là nhiệt tình.
And you just heard from the foreign athletes who will be making their debut, at least some of them, in the PVL Invitational Conference. Volleyball fans will be treated to another exciting quadruple header tomorrow. Now, for the classification match, must watch. Jerry Tigo and Choco Mucho will face each other at 9 a.m. And then F2 will battle PLDT at 11:30 a.m. That is to kick off the semifinals. And then next up will be Creamline matching up against Signal at 4 p.m. While those foreign teams, Kin, Bakbakni, and Kurashiki Ablaze, will face each other at 6:30 p.m. And all games are live on One Sports and on the Filipinas Live app. So don't forget to download and subscribe now for 99 pesos to get access to your favorite live sports events. Thank you for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
That's weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.